honorable members, the floor is still open. I give it to the Honorable Peter Kemoy, and then I give to the Honorable Paul B. And then from there we'll see what next. And honorable members, the leader of majority, your honorable members, including your leadership, are out while we are discussing on very important issues, and they are making noise outside the chambers. Quite embarrassing. We are live on TV, and I should mention that the honorable members are not serious. Please take your work seriously. You are in this house to represent, to do your role. You don't report to this assembly to come and sit outside and consult on other matters. Very disappointing. Proceed, Honorable Peter Kemoy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the opportunity you have granted to me. Allow me to join Honorable Anthony Ruto in congratulating my colleague Moses for coming up with such a wonderful statement concerning the ward administrators. Mr. Speaker, sir, for your information, we are lacking the full representation in our wards through these ward administrators. Why do I say so? In my area, the ward administrator who is representing Waldai is on acting capacity in my ward and also acting capacity in Chaik ward, which is representing 3 wards. He is almost in the capacity of a sub-county administrator. So if there are some exercises which are running concurrently, it shows that some of the wards will not be represented. Mr. Speaker, sir, also this information of the report we are given by the chair, it shows that it is not a report which was fully interrogated. Why do I say so? In the observation, number 1, it says that there are total of 26 ward administrators and 5 substantive and 5 sub-county administrators. In their findings, it shows that 2 women who are sub-county administrators and 4 men who are sub-county administrators, which are coming to a total of 6 sub-county administrators. So from the observation, you find there are 5, but in their findings, there are 6. When you come to the ward administrators, 3 women, of which 2 are substantive, and we have 27 men who are ward administrators, which is coming to a total of 29. And in their observation, it is 26 ward administrators. So those figures are not relating in any way. So until they give us a clarification on that, unless maybe my arithmetics are not in order. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
All right, thank you, the Honorable Paul, the Honorable Peter Kemoy, the Honorable Paul B.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this chance to comment on something. Honorable Speaker, as much as I would like to agree with my colleagues that we need to get some more findings, But going as per the statement which was raised by one Honorable Moses, I then believe that the committee did their best. When you go one by one with what Moses asked, Honorable Speaker, that one, how many substantive ward administrators and sub-county administrators do we have in Kericho County? As by our findings, I then believe it's well, it's well answered, Honorable Speaker. When you look at what Moses actually, raised, and what the committee actually found out, I then to believe we did the right thing, because when you're told that there is one administrator who went to Bomet to be a lecturer, do we need to go deeper to ask why did he decide to go and to be a lecturer in Bomet? So there are so many things I dare to believe the committee did, in which of course I still want to seek my colleagues to relook at the findings and the observations which were made by the committee, rather than coming here to push and say that the committee did nothing. To me, I'm satisfied with the findings, I'm satisfied with the observations and the recommendations which were made by the committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
All right, thank you, Honorable Paul B. Okay. So I'll give it to the Honorable Moses lastly to make his observation on the statement that he raised, and I hope you will confirm or affirm what the Honorable Paul B. have mentioned. Proceed.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I've decided to take stage, Mr. Speaker, basically facing the east, Mr. Speaker, because when we are deliberating on very critical matters, Mr. Speaker, that touches on the community, on many occasions, Mr. Speaker, we face the east, where the sun rises, Mr. Speaker. Again, Mr. Speaker, there is tea without sugar, Mr. Speaker, and it is normally called do fear, Mr. Speaker. And then, Mr. Speaker, do fear, Mr. Speaker, is tea without sugar, Mr. Speaker. I'm guided by this, Mr. Speaker, to say do fear because of the following reasons, Mr. Speaker. One, before then, Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank the committee for the work they have done. However, Mr. Speaker, unsatisfactory it may be, Mr. Speaker, but with abundance of mercy, Mr. Speaker, and the effort they have done, Mr. Speaker, we want to say thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, I raised this statement on the 13th of February of 2024. If you could critically examine, Mr. Speaker, February, that is on the 5th of February, Mr. Speaker, then it was committed to the Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, Mr. Speaker. On the 21st of March of 2024, Mr. Speaker, CEC, they were responded to the statement, Mr. Speaker. On the 25th of March, Mr. Speaker, the committee on the 25th of March held a meeting with the county executive, Mr. Speaker, to critically deliberate and examine, Mr. Speaker, on solutions and responses to this statement. Mr. Speaker, it took the committee then more than, that is the whole of April, the whole of May, the whole of June, the whole of July, the whole of August, Mr. Speaker, and now we are in September, Mr. Speaker, to respond to this statement. I remember very well, Mr. Speaker, when we raised this statement, it was committed with timelines, Mr. Speaker. Timelines to statement is very critical, so that solutions are offered, so that directions are offered, Mr. Speaker, for purposes of service delivery. I'm a sad man today that the people from Tendeno Soget, since 2021, when their substantive ward administrator retired, Mr. Speaker, they have been denied, one, the right of service, Mr. Speaker. However much we have someone within service, Mr. Speaker, but it is the right of the people of the Tendeno Soget ward, Mr. Speaker, to provide one of their own to be employed, Mr. Speaker, to earn a salary from this position, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, looking into this, Mr. Speaker, I wish you could give further directions, Mr. Speaker, so that we expound more on service delivery, Mr. Speaker, on this county. If we have people on acting capacity, Mr. Speaker, it means there are they have limits on discharging on their mandates, Mr. Speaker. If you could, Mr. Speaker, check on the time when Mr. Richard Tanui retired, Mr. Speaker, we are told on the committee finding number 3 that I want to concentrate on it, Mr. Speaker. The position of the ward administrator in Tendeno Soget has remained vacant, Mr. Speaker, since the retirement of Mr. Richard Tanui, and the Department of Public Service Management has requested to fill this vacancy and other vacant positions, but yet to be filled. Mr. Speaker, 2021 yet to be filled. 2022, Mr. Speaker, yet to be filled. We're in 2023 again, they were yet to fill, Mr. Speaker. 2024, Mr. Speaker, we're in September. They are yet to be filled, Mr. Speaker. A good, carefully researched report and recommendations, Mr. Speaker, must have a timeline. Point number 3, Mr. Speaker, they should be telling us, Mr. Speaker, that we will refill the vacant position by what span of time, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, having looked at this report, I concur with the honorable members that careful research direction, Mr. Speaker, with under the standing order number 1, Mr. Speaker, that further reassignments, Mr. Speaker, be done so that we get a comprehensive report that really reflects, touches the will of the people on the matters of service delivery. On the issue of acting capacity, Mr. Speaker, it is quite unfair that we have almost 12, Mr. Speaker, wards that are denied the right of service, Mr. Speaker. It is not the place and duty of PSM, Mr. Speaker, as a department, as the name also suggests, that public service, it is very crucial. It has to be undertaken with all the careful positions that needs to be done, Mr. Speaker. On the part of Mr. Speaker, there is one ward administrator called Mr. Matthew Sang, Mr. Speaker. He is supposed to be working in the lab, Mr. Speaker. A lab technician, Mr. Speaker, is a position that should be offering critical services. With a shortage in the Department of Health, Mr. Speaker, then we are going again, the department again is reassigning, creating self-deliberated and resultant shortage, Mr. Speaker, is quite uncalled for. So, Mr. Speaker, departmentation, professionalism is critical towards service delivery. And I will pray, Mr. Speaker, that Mr. Matthew Sang be returned to offer critical service. On behalf of the people of Tendeno Soget, Mr. Speaker, I am today held between a rock and a hard place, Mr. Speaker, because they have been waiting for this statement for long. And again, the statement that is coming to this floor of the House, Mr. Speaker, is without timelines. It means we will still stay longer before we could get this vacant positioned field, Mr. Speaker. So I am lost for words, Mr. Speaker, to proceed. Kindly, Mr. Speaker, give us a way forward so that this committee on labor, social governance and social welfare, Mr. Speaker, could redo their work and give us a comprehensive report that reflects the will of the people. That again, with them, Mr. Speaker, they will own the report, they will be accountable to the report, Mr. Speaker. If they are called in to verify, Mr. Speaker, they can still verify, Mr. Speaker. If I'm told of Helen Taylor, Mr. Speaker, she is not the current director of education, Mr. Speaker. So I think, give us direction, Mr. Speaker. And thank you on behalf of the great people of Tendeno Soget, Mr. Speaker, to whom I represent, Mr. Speaker. We will pursue your rights in air, in water, on land, Mr. Speaker, with dignified manner. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, the Honorable Dr. Moses Rotich. The Honorable Chairman, Governance, Labor and Social Welfare. I hope you have heard the sentiments of the members, and they have raised a number of concerns on a number of issues, more so on the matters that touched on the statement raised by Honorable Moses Rotich. As you have heard, nearly all the members except one have raised issues, and therefore I would like to redirect it back to your committee. You will look at this matter again and report back to this House within the next 14 days. Honorable Diaz, who is here, the Chairman Liaison, this report needs to be dispensed within the County Assembly, the presence of the County Assembly. So please note that, so that as you sit as liaison, you can schedule it accordingly. So Chairman, Committee on Governance, Labor and Social Work, you have some work to do and adhere to the timelines that have been also raised by the honorable members. Honorable members, I think then we have come to conclusion to our morning session, but before then, the honorable leadership, there is show of what I call impunity, total impunity, or lethargy by the honorable members, not even to attend to the sittings. As we are here, I had to instruct the Sergeant at Arms to at least lower the windows because honorable members are busy outside making noise. I don't know what they were doing, but I will urge you that there is no point for you to come to the assembly and don't attend your sittings. So please, let's show leadership. Kericho is looking upon you. Your absence in the chambers means that the people of this county are not getting what they are supposed to get. So please, I'll request you humbly that just be here. We only have 2 sessions in a day, for Tuesday and Wednesday. You are free to do other things from Monday, and you have Thursday, and you have Friday, and all the other time that you have. So please, leadership, maybe you can have your meeting and discuss, encourage the members to be here. and remind them that they are paid to attend these sittings. Thank you, and have a good morning. Sorry, this assembly stands adjourned until 2:30 p.m. this afternoon.